You know what I mean? It's just for me, time is just like fucking. It's strict for me.
Replace excuses with solutions. Maybe I gotta wake
I
up a little
had
bit
to,
earlier. Maybe I gotta make time on Sunday. Maybe I
right.
gotta
So
when I
that's what I
come
was thinking.
home,
So
throw my shit in the what you call it before I take my shower. Throw my shit in the oven. Take my shower. Get ready. When I come out the shower, boom, doubling up on time, double up on tasks.
well, that's the
Replacing.
reason why after this, you know what I mean. I'm gonna go into like finish gutting and cleaning because once that's out the way, like it's nothing to do at home but meal prep.
Yeah.
And I already bought a whole chicken. I got in there, and then I'm gonna mix that with like I'm a big fan of fucking green beans. I love me some green beans, but I just found a recipe. I might send it to you if you're interested. How to like spice them up like grandma style and shit like that. And I'm just like they doing the smoked neck bones, or the smoked turkey.
Because that's all salted. That's all salted meat, salted and cured. So I can't even
Oh,
do
that
that.
is
I'm
true.
on low sodium, man, trying to protect that heart. I ain't trying to motherfucking with big pun say niggas trying to take my life. Niggas trying to fuck my wife. You know he made that song about his weight, right? That song is actually about that song is actually about his weight. He went to the doctor and the doctor was telling him everything that was wrong and how he had to lose weight. And he was actually losing weight at that time. But that was that was actually his last single.
It was.
Yeah, before he passed away. And he made that song about, remember in the background you can hear the ad libs. Like, I'm trying to live. I'm trying to live.
Yeah,
I'm trying to live. He made that song. A lot of people don't know. They think talking about a person, but he literally is talking about his habits, his poor habits. He's talking about his health. Niggas trying to take my life. Niggas trying to fuck my wife. He can't even have sex with his wife. He's getting so big. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what's damn sure. That's a great segue right there. That definitely make you think about some shit because you enjoyed the shit just for the sheer beat and the motherfucking, but not knowing that it was an underlying message in that motherfucker is super powerful.
Yeah, that's why I think music really speaks to people, and like you said, it's a good segue to that verses with Donnell Jones.
I know, Joe. I ain't gonna lie, I was in that bitch. I was in the concert at that time, nigga.
That was fire, man. That was a fire versus. I think that's probably the best one that I've seen as far as R&B goes, because a lot of those R&B ones, I think you were saying they doing the back and forth. I ain't really trying to hear them just rag on each other. They was going straight hit for hit, and that song came up, and I didn't even realize that was Donnell Jones singing that. That is so hard. That was him
because you was in the video. You ever saw the video?
Nah, I don't think I was. I was young.
You was a
I don't
youngin'.
even remember that video, and I probably even if I did see it, I wouldn't have been able to even identify Donnell Jones.
Yeah, that's one of Donnell Jones had hits, but he didn't have many mainstream hits. But like you said, before he had a lot of sleeper hits. He got about I could count 6 mainstream hits, including that song. Yeah, it is a lot, but it's people that has a much larger catalog mainstream wise. And not just the sleepers in the background that nobody know about. Like, just you got to buy the album and get those other songs and shit. Like I like Donnell Jones would be my go to for probably like the one where he did with Left Eye. Ooh, what's up? What's up? What's up? You know
what's up,
it, baby.
You got that. You got Where I Wanna Be. Where I Wanna
where I wanna be is just a forever banger.
Yeah. He got
That
some. He got
motherfucker.
some
That was
joints.
that was the track to every nigga said it's not you, it's me.
Where I wanna be. But he's got like a bunch of features too. He's got a lot of features too.
Oh yeah, he definitely got a lot of features.
When he was going through that portion of the verses where he was doing like, okay, all the features, let me get my features off. He had like 5 that was just banging, including that Big Pun record. He had like 5 that was just straight bangers. And I was like, dang, I forgot Donnell Jones was on that. I think
Joe forced
that's
that
it.
out. He ain't want to pop that out right away. He probably wanted to wait to the
Joe.
end of the thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
once Joe did his well, I
his
think
big button too.
Donnell Jones did his, and then Joe did his. And then
No, no, no,
Joe,
no. Joe did his first,
okay, and then Donnell came out.
and then Donnell, he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you back with this one, yo, living legend." Da da.
But he was doing all the feet. He did. I think Joe went to he went all the way to 50 Cent, his 50 Cent joints.
Oh
And I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that. I was like, dang, I forgot about that. Cause he had crossed over damn near into hip hop out of
yeah.
that
For a
neo
while,
soul.
he was holding his own.
That was a great verses. And then seeing them live, like real, those are like real R&B neo soul singers where their voice on the record is their voice in real life. It's not like a auto-tuned or what they had Ray J doing 100 takes and then he get his one good take and then he hop on stage and he sound terrible. And these is
Come
dudes that
on,
tour.
with it.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
That nigga is he trying to get fame any way he can get it. Ray J has been the clown of Hollywood for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's just his personality. I definitely would say that he leans into it, but as far as business, you can't front on his business, man. Even all the way
No,
back to
well,
that
we gotta
tape.
understand he is a mogul now.
Yeah,
You
the
know, he got
Raycons,
Raycon.
the Scooty bike, the
Yeah,
glasses.
he
The
making
Raycons
money.
is actually Raycons are actually pretty big. Raycons,
They are huge. They comparable to Beats.
yeah. I think he did his 1-2 with all that stuff. Ray J is he's not at a loss for bread, man, and he's not
No, he's
afraid
not.
to put his name on
And it's
stuff.
so crazy that the face of all these successful projects
Mm.
is Ray J. It's just like when you see him on stream or some shit like that, he's a goofy.
Yeah, he
But yet
constantly
again,
pops up. I remember he was on was that Mafiathon with Casanat?
yeah,
They damn near integrated him into the whole stream. He was popping up 2, 3 times, 4 times. He was hanging
right.
out,
But
sleeping over, just
he
chilling.
was saying, I want to take a shower with y'all. I just want to take a
Oh my
shower with
god, that
y'all.
was hilarious. He's like, bro, I just want to part. I want to party
nigga,
with y'all. What's up? I
that
want to
nigga,
party. Like, bro.
that nigga pulled a Diddy when he went to the fucking with Fab and shit. He said, "Why you don't want to party with me, baby? Why you don't want to, you know?"
I feel like I can definitely appreciate his the humor and him not really taking himself too serious. I feel like a lot of so-called celebrities or even I would say R&B singers are really like that, where they kind of I'm an artist. You got to respect my craft, respect the music. Like, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But you're just making music. Like, it's not you don't have to be. You're not Beethoven. You're not like an instrumentalist. You're not creating the beats and
Right.
all that. You're a singer. Like, you can
You're not a
still show your
writer.
personality. Yeah, you can still show your personality. And I think that's what defines um his celebrity, his ability to be
Mhm.
like, you know what, I ain't taking myself too serious. I got a couple bangers from back in the day. I got some businesses. I can be myself. I'm not attached to
And
this fake personality that needs to be
right.
curated for people to like me. If y'all gonna like me for me.
Exactly. For me being this nut ass nigga right here,
Yep.
I'm gonna be the best one I can be.
There
But
you
I'm
go.
making money. And
Yep. Can't
that
front
goes
on
back
that.
to what I said last night. Wait, I don't give a fuck how you make it, how you get it. Because once you get it, your main plan is not how you got it and how you got it. The main plan is your execution afterwards. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to get all I can get. So I can set myself up better to protect myself or do what I have to do on my end
Yeah.
to, make sure I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Speaking of celebrity and I guess coming up, trying to make money. It was a kid that I seen, a story actually that I seen. This kid,
Hmm.
Nitro Camden. Nitro Camden is a streamer, small streamer,
Right,
um, basically unknown up until a couple days ago, where these guys, Stable Ronaldo, some of the biggest streamers, Stable Ronaldo, Lacey from FaZe Clan,
right.
um, they do these things on Twitch where they raid each other's streams. So rating is basically, if you're a bigger streamer, you'll tell people, okay, let's go to this random person's stream and basically turn their stream up. So it can go from you sitting there with one person in your stream watching you to tens of thousands of people just from that person saying, everybody go over here. So one night he's sitting there, I think he had maybe 2 people, they said, 2 people in his stream. Stable Ronaldo said, hey, let's go raid this kid's stream. 10,000 people flood his stream. He's going crazy. He's playing music. He's excited, as he should be. He's seeing the fruit, basically the fruits of your labor. Even though it's kind of manufactured, you're seeing people hop in. This is the thing that you dream of if you're a streamer. 10,000 people hop in there. He's freaking out. And then a storm cloud comes in. His mother pops up, tells him, you got to shut this off, shut this down. You're making too much noise. It's the middle of the night. You got school, this, that, and the third. Mind you, this is an 18-year-old, senior in high school, technically an adult, obviously still living with your moms. I mean, it's just the way that things work out. You turn 18 as a senior, you're still living with your parents. But she comes in, tries to shut the whole thing down, and then things go left, basically. Let's play this clip.
Roll it.
Move! Go get your stuff. You gotta go. Go. Go get your stuff. Go get your clothes and stuff. Go. Go. And then go. I would hate to have to call the police on you. Go ahead and go. You're done. I'm not playing this game. It's almost midnight. Go. Out of my room. My house. Everything. This is all mine. Get out. Get out. Get out of my house. You're not welcomed anymore. Get out. Well, be prepared for the police to come put you out there. So you don't think your stupid ass have to get out. You're 18, dummy. You don't have to live in my house. Great, but I'm letting you know because you're getting out at 6 o'clock tomorrow. When I wake up, you get your ass up and you're getting out. Not gonna keep blatantly disrespecting me. I told you to lay down. This is what you do every other time. You try to act like you don't break rules, but you do this every other time. I walk past the room and I'm like, why is the light still on? I'm exercising. Well, you should have been did that. It's bedtime.
And you can hear the brother actually out in the hallway going through the same thing. She's grabbing the kid's face, turning them around, just basically putting her hands all over, fighting him like she's a kid. What you got?
Is she just trying to bite him?
Yeah, she grabbed his face and tried to bite his face.
Like I like she got some mental illness herself.
Yeah, when I first seen it, I was like, this is somebody who, and you can see, you know, when you can see somebody, they got that kind of glossed over look.
Yeah,
like they're in an episode. Bit. Yeah, like, well, not even that. Like in some type of episode almost. Like,
well, she could
like, oh, you're not driving. You're not in the front seat right now.
Right, like she's gone to a mild psychosis because she didn't have control of the situation.
Right,
and that's what it came down to. It's like IShowSpeed. He moved out of his mother's house after her doing the same exact shit, and moved in with his father, and end up becoming his biggest supporter.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was to no end at that point because I mean, she had already done the damage. In the case of IShowSpeed, I think she was doing the same thing. Hey, I'm threatening to kick him out. You're gonna go live with your father. This, that, and the third. And I think eventually it got to that point.
Mom, come
on. I don't give a fuck.
All right, okay, all right.
I don't give a fuck.
All right.
I'm gonna be on the recording.
Okay, all right.
Damn, Monty popping up and shit.
This is embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. That was embarrassing. I don't even want to get hyped no more. That was embarrassing. But you know what? Just had y'all apologize.
Chat, I'm sorry, y'all. My mother just, I'm trying to work with my mother, y'all. I'm going to work with my mother. I'm gonna figure something out. I don't know what to do. I'm just so sorry for that bad stream I had, y'all. My mother is just, she's a very good person, but it's just that, oh my God, I can't just like move. I just can't like really do what I really want to do.
And then the father, thank God he had a understanding father. Basically just cultivated, gave him everything he needed, gave him the space that he needed. I think he ended up moving into homeschooling at a certain point in his career,
right?
And allowed him to flourish. And now he's possibly the one of the biggest, if not the biggest streamer on YouTube. And like you said yesterday, biggest entertainer now at this point.
Exactly.
He's getting paid
worldwide, world known,
doing stuff with the World Cup, doing stuff with his world trips, because he's more international, whereas somebody like Casanat is more American based. But he's going to Caribbean countries. He did a whole Caribbean run. He did a whole European run. He did an Africa run. I think he did an Asia run. He did a China and all that. I think the changing landscape of the U.S. and where kids are, there needs to be some sense of understanding for the newer generation coming up, because they don't have access to hourly jobs like we did as kids. They don't have access to work release as far as school. Remember, you used to be able to take off maybe the last 2 or 3 periods at the end of the day and go to whatever your little job was to get your credits and maybe make a little bit of money as well. They don't have access to that because the way the job market is working now, there are grown people taking teenagers' jobs because the job market for adults is suffering. So people are getting kicked back or kicked down to the positions that usually 15, 16, 17-year-old would have. Bagger, working at cash registers, working at the mall, working at the Gap or Old Navy or whatever it may be in the mall, working at the movie theater. You go there, you go to all these places, you see grown people. You see 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds even, sometimes 50 and 60-year-olds working at, you go to Walmart, you're going to see a whole crew, whereas when we were younger, it used to be all teenagers, and then maybe the manager was a grown or an adult. Now you see just straight up 40-year-olds working the cash register, working self-checkout. Just because of the way America is moving right now, I think there needs to be some type of understanding that these kids have to find an alternate means of getting by. And we've already seen where college and going on these college runs, you coming out on the other side, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Worst case, and in best case, maybe you come out 40 or $50,000 in debt to no jobs. Because all the entry level jobs are taken by adults.
There's nothing there to, solidify the ever changing market, not ever growing market, ever changing market. And that's where they find happiness and they find a career in streaming. And some of these kids are good at entertaining the world. That's just what they do. You know what I mean? Now I can see the underlying things, like you're not, doing what you need to do around the house, but you just going on a war path around the whole house and then got into it with the other older, it seems like the older brother. And you just escalating. And then technically the world is watching, because it only takes a share, to get this video to hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. And there was already 10,000 people in there.
Exactly. So how many people can just screen record and fucking send this over and over again? This should blow up on the internet.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So with that type of understanding and not stopping yourself as an adult or removing yourself, because I could see if he was sitting up there, talking trash, saying some crazy shit, talking about guns and drugs and everything that you could think of at that age that shouldn't be, transmitted online. He's not. He's sitting up there. He's excited. He's got something going on for himself that he waited 7 years for. Like, come on now. Like, I don't know. It's something with I might be going out on a limb here, but not all, for certain single black parents, man, it's just there's no end to the destruction that you do to your kids.
What's going on, everybody? Just a quick intermission before we get into the second half of the pod. Winny and Kels is brought to you in part by two niggas with full-time jobs. If you can find it in your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe. Either one of those, preferably all three. It will really help us out, help the channel grow, and keep these conversations going. Appreciate it. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I think because I mean that's gonna have a lasting effect. I think they went back and they did some interviews with him. Some of the larger streamers went back, reached out to him, made sure he was all right, sent him some money, tried to get him a hotel so he could get a place to stay. And you can kind of see like this is a point in his life where he is supposed to be the happiest he's ever been. This is literally the crux of what could potentially be a very lucrative career for him in streaming or entertainment, however you want to categorize it. And you can kind of see in the back of his mind, he's thinking, well, my relationship with my mother is now been put on this large stage, and I now have to come to terms with this as an 18-year-old kid still in high school. I have to come to terms with this in front of tens of thousands of people now at this point, because he's been now elevated to a point where there's no reverting. There's no cutting off the computer anymore. He now has tens of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of views and clicks, and millions of insights where people are looking at this story. There's no reverse on this, and I think the mother's definitely going to probably pay dearly for this, whether it be for the job. I think they said that she's a school teacher. So, I mean, the implications of all of this, and then he's saying, yeah, this is always going on. This is why I always got to mute up and block my screen out, because stuff like this is happening just constantly every single week when I'm just sitting in my room. And that was a good point that you brought up. It's not like he's out robbing, stealing, cheating, scamming, doing whatever that a lot of or some kids are doing to try to get work or get money, doing nefarious things. He's literally just sitting in his room, and our parents probably would have paid for that back in the day to have us sit in the house and sit still.
What? We was ripping and running the streets. They was scared to death.
Running
no
from the
cell
street
phone.
lights. Yeah, no cell phone, no contact, nothing. And you got your kid sitting 20 feet away, and he's just making noise. At that point, I mean, what do you want? You don't want a child at that point. And he's not a child, but you don't want your child at that point. You want them to basically just get away from you at that point. That's what it more or less seemed like, because there was a point in that clip where she was like, "This is my house. I own this. You don't do nothing around here." It's like he's came into this world as a product of you.
Exactly. And she sat there continuously devaluing him, but his value come from what he sees in his household.
Right.
And who's the main person he sees in his household? You coming in, and then you come into the camera, you ain't dressed up, you ain't doing nothing, you just look like shit.
Yeah.
Coming into the camera. And at that point in time, like, he's the product of you at the end of the day. However, you got whatever mental instabilities that you have, it will fall on your children. And you sitting up here devaluing him, like, what was that proving? It had nothing to do with the situation at hand.
Yeah.
But you just had to say it.
If cooler
causing
heads
more
would prevail.
scars.
Yeah. Cooler heads should have prevailed. I think she should have. If you do have an issue, to give him a time limit, give him a schedule, make it work. If you see your child is showing interest in something, and I think that should be something that all parents do. You see your child is interested in music, or you see your child is interested in movies, or you see your child is interested in this, that, and the third. Make a way for them. Give them a platform. That's your duty as a parent. You brought this child into this world. Try to ensure their success. And if you see that they gravitate towards something or they're good at something, try to foster that and make it bigger, because it's rough out here. Even though we might say, yeah, these kids got it easy or whatever it may be, they really don't, man. And I wanted to get into this clip too, going back to that point of the job market, not only for adults but for teenagers. Let's get into this clip real quick.
If your teen is complaining about how hard it is to find a summer job, honestly, they're probably right. The summer job market for teens is not great. According to consulting firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, 2026 could be the worst summer for teen hiring since the government even started keeping track back in 1948. So experts say sectors that typically hire teens, they're taking a hit, and new technology is also playing a role. So there's also a lot of competition too from recent college grads who have struggled to land permanent jobs and from older retirement age workers who are increasingly seeking part-time and seasonal roles.
There's also competition from recent college grads who have struggled to land permanent gigs and from workers of retirement age who are increasingly seeking part-time and seasonal roles, and automation.
A lot of companies like fast food restaurants and convenience stores have made investments over the last few years in self-service kiosks, checkouts, those typical jobs that would go to teenagers.
Nicole Bachot, labor economist at ZipRecruiter, says employers have played it safe with hiring in an uncertain economy.
These are very important jobs, Pat. All right. There's a few studies that they were made on summer jobs for teenagers. They reduce crime. There was a study done in Chicago. It reduces crime 18% when the kids are employed. It also prepares them. There's another study, prepares them for their future. They have higher prospects of getting a future job, higher wages along their career. Like, they become more responsible, more punctual. So I think it's in the best interest of companies to, if they can, to open up jobs for teenagers. You know what I mean? Because it's such a important developmental stage in their career that losing this job, even though it's 10,000, it's a tragedy. You know,
that's the overall point that I wanted to get to.
You know what's funny about this?
So
I remember, like, we from North New Jersey, man. Jersey, stand up. Every summer we had a summer release work program. Remember that?
Yeah, Job
I don't know.
Corps.
No, it wasn't.
The work
it wasn't
centers.
Job Corps. It was all right. So if
It
you was
was.
in school, say if you was in high school or whatever like that, you would go to the county building. The county building would then get you registered, and you bring your work permit, and you go in there and you sign up on the list. The list to give you a list of jobs that's hiring for the summer for teenagers to work the entire summer.
Yeah, summer work
That's
program.
what we had.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a large program like that, like, hell, I went to football camp and got paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people, like, they would have jobs set aside just for the kids to go in there and make money throughout the summer. And mind you, wages was probably like anywhere from $6 to $7 an hour at that time. But you can work at McDonald's, you can work in a factory and get some factory experience. You can do some type of industrial job that will give you experience throughout those 3 months. Now, like, as I got older, like, I see a lot of programs and a lot of educational and work programs just deceased. Like, they're gone and no longer around. So in my current area, like, I have yet to see any programs, but there's an abundance of kids that's just trying to find something to do, trying to find work. And on top of that, they increase the working age to 16 at a majority of places instead of 14 to start working. And that's what a summer youth program, because as soon as you hit 9th grade at 14, you was able to still get a job at that age.
Yeah, you were able to lock down a part-time job. And that's what that's the main issue. The issue of idle hands, idle minds, and then like he was saying, with the development of their career. This is where you step when you're a teenager. You're stepping into the job market. You learn what a work schedule looks like. You learn about clocking in. You learn about being punctual. You learn all these more esoteric things, or things that that aren't really solid concepts at that point. Because maybe 7:30 you got to be at school, but you're working with a work schedule. You're working with other people. You're figuring out, hey, I can switch shifts. I can make this work. You're learning all these little things, these little tidbits of the job market. How to fill out an application. What things are important to say to your employer. What jobs you do and what jobs you don't want. Figuring out rides and all that stuff, and transportation, and they start to get that first taste of the real world. And I think an important figure that he brought up as well was the dip in crime as jobs go up for younger kids.
Absolutely.
And that's a direct correlation, because if you're 16 and you're working at McDonald's for, let's say, 20, 30 hours a week, right? You don't have time to go and piss off. Well, you do, but you don't have as much time to go and piss off with your friends, and you have these idle hands and idle minds to go and do something stupid to mess your life up. You have a job. I got to get to work. I got to go do this. I got to make sure my uniform is clean, this, that, and the third. And just that second order effect is the crime rate dropping. So just the importance of that. There used to be, back in the day, like you were saying with the programs, they would set aside a certain amount of jobs for, I know in my high school, they would set aside a certain amount of positions for kids to come in and work, to do that. I guess you can kind of call it like an internship type of program, where you go and you might work at a dentist's office at the front desk and sit next to whoever is working there, or you might shadow this person or that person, the Coca-Cola delivery driver, or the grocery store manager, or
absolutely
work at a cash register or something like that, and really learn the world that you're going to be living in just a couple years. And you're selling the younger generation short by deleting these things, or like the guy was saying before, it's a downstream effect. People in college are seeing the same thing. Adults are seeing the same thing, where they're not able to get this experience, to get these jobs, to people are filling out 400, 500 applications and getting maybe 3 or 4 interviews and still no job for months and months and months and months and months. And it's a downstream effect, and it affects the youth. And that's who's going to take over here in a couple decades. And you're going to have people with no experience of the world.
So to cultivate the mind, guide the youth, and we're not giving them any opportunities at all that we had in the past for the last, however many years. Those opportunities, man, it was exciting to see, even though it was like a childish understanding of what you was looking at, it was exciting to see a truck driver driving the truck, or the dumpster guy behind the scenes, and you're getting paid for it just to be like a little apprentice for the summer. It was nice. It was good to see certain things. Like, you was excited. You would, we ain't have phones back in the day to the point that we taking selfies, but if we had, we probably be documenting all of our experiences at work.
Yeah. And speaking of jobs, even though that's extremely important, I think the wider view of our community specifically, or the larger view of our community specifically, in entertainment, jobs are being snatched away as well. We're talking about,
let's talk about it.
Blade and Wonder Man, and all the controversy around those two IPs basically being put on the back burner and then eventually canceled. And most recently, Wonder Man. I got a clip from New Rockstars. Let's go ahead and get into that.
I'm going to bring up the thing. What are you going to bring up? Outside of Black Panther, it seems like most projects in the Marvel Universe with black-led actors don't get much promotion or much development.
I was going to let you say Armor Wars, that was so good, though.
Ironheart, the Black Panther animated show. Now Wonder Man's canceled. They couldn't get Blade off the ground. Black Panther is like huge, and that's great.
You don't go Academy Award winner Ryan Coogler.
But you got 2-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. Now he's not able to. Crazy.
It's not subtle.
It's not.
The comments right now are saying, look, no, it's not that. It's not.
Yeah.
Go nuts. Go crazy. Have fun.
We've said it doesn't have as many viewership as not enough views, but at the same time, it's like this. I don't think this show needed it to be produced as many, but that could be like, it's not enough though to factor in the necessity for being part of a bigger universe,
and promoting it, and like what it costs to I get that, and I understand.
Very well could just be that.
Then why they greenlight it?
It's weird to do this the weekend of Destined Daniel Credits,
the
big Spider-Man movie,
opening in the history of movies.
Yeah.
Cancel that show though.
There we go. So, rapid expansion turned into putting everything on a cutting board when jobs were lost and gained, and that's what put Disney and Marvel in a position to where now they're sitting there looking like, yeah, we're chopping the heads off of all the black characters and moving forward with all of our old
IPs.
White characters. Yeah, white IPs.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, I can understand it from a business aspect, but a Black Panther 3 isn't going to make up for expanding the universe and showing there are black people and most of the stories, or what's the biggest story in Marvel? X-Men, right? Literally based around black people. So, and then Blade was one of the movies that put Marvel on its feet back in the day.
Absolutely.
And you cut the head off of that. You cut the head off of Wonder Man, which looked like it was about to expand. That's one of the most powerful characters inside of Marvel, and you just do away with it. Just disappears, right? That's crazy.
I just, while we was watching the video, it's funny that we brought it to this, because I looked up all the black castings over the years, and we only have probably like 5 of them left that's still current, including Captain America, the new Captain America, Black Panther, of course,
which is already getting diluted by Chris Evans popping back up in Doomsday. So
exactly, so they might take the mantle from him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's the sucker shit. Look, we missing Rhodey. Rhodey is not there. Nick Fury is not there. Yep. Hondorf is not there. Gamora is sort of there. They could cancel her at any minute because she's not supposed to be there. She part of the incursion. You know, we got Luke Cage. Luke Cage only showed a cameo in Daredevil season 2, Born Again.
Yeah.
So, and that was only literally a 5-minute slot just to solidify that he had a baby and that they moving with that storyline.
Right.
Then we move on to Ghost. Ghost was a Latina. You know what I mean? We got Valkyrie. Valkyrie, I haven't seen Valkyrie yet. That goes to the Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yep.
Was the last time we saw Valkyrie. Okay, we got
Endgame.
Wonder Man, Monica Rambeau. You know, both versions of Monica Rambeau, because her mother was in the alternate universe on the council.
And then they got what's her name locked up too? What is that? Why am I thinking Blue Marvel? What's Miss Marvel? Is it Miss Marvel?
No, well that's Monica Rambeau.
Okay, Monica Rambeau. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
Kamala Khan. That's a Kamala Khan thing.
Yeah, like Kamala Khan. Yeah, Kamala Khan. We can add her to the list. That is not there. You know what I mean? And that's probably like 20 actors and actresses that is, you know, of black descent that is no longer with the MCU at this moment. Now, they never said Nick Fury died. He just turned into a scroll. Same thing with James Rhodes. He just turned into a scroll. But where are they storylines? The only thing we got left is Shuri, the new Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have Fastos from the Eternals no more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then Riri Williams, you know that's gonna get canceled. That was just bad to begin with.
Yep. Was that
so
Ironheart?
It's like, where do we go? You know, like what it seems like to me, and this is just an opinion, is it reminds me of the sitcoms and the storylines back in the 90s, right? You had In Living Single, you had Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you had, you know, Martin, and all these big IP black TV shows, predominantly black TV shows that launched the networks of Fox, NBC, you know, ABC, and all these other big brand networks to make them to what they are now, a powerhouse of entertainment. But that was off the backs of black actors and black TV shows.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and in those TV shows, either the Chappelle Show from Comedy Central, these are everlasting TV shows. People watch them to this day, black, white, indifferent, or otherwise. Can still quote a line from Martin, can still quote a line from the Chappelle Show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To this day. So I feel as though like they put the black presence at the forefront when it's needed, to bring in the ratings, to boost the money, to get the revenue in. Not saying that their white-led IPs aren't doing numbers, because we got to look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man is going up to 3 billion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing great numbers.
Miles Morales, both Spider-Man.
Both Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, and that is a black-led, you know.
But that's about
black-led story.
That's got one more in the tank. and then
exactly.
I'm hoping they maybe put him in the MCU.
Supposedly, he's supposed to be crossing over after this third movie into the real world, and then that's when Peter Parker going to take it. Supposedly, this is
if I don't see a casting within a year, I'm gonna go ahead and call that. That's probably not gonna happen. If I don't see a casting after this next Into the Spider-Verse movie, then I'm gonna go ahead and say because you can't really trust anything anymore. They're doing all of these press release, the D23, the Disney Comic-Con and all that.
Absolutely,
San Diego Comic-Con, and they're announcing all these things, and then a year later, 70% of the things are either on the back burner, stuck in production hell, or straight up just canceled. It's like,
absolutely,
what are you guys doing? Are you do you even care, or are you just doing this for fanfare, for press? Like, why are you even saying these things if a year later half of them aren't even coming to fruition?
Exactly. Like they only push the slate. Now, as much as I like Robert Downey Jr. as an actor, they only pushed him into the slate after the incident happened with Kane.
Yeah.
And the actor that played Kane with, the domestic assault. So with that being said, they had to push that slate up to get Dr. Doom. And like she said, in order to replace the bad press, let me put something bigger over it. So when you search it up, you see RDJ is now reprising his role making his role as Dr. Doom. Sounds great, sounds good. But honestly, as much as I like him as an actor and as much as I love him as Iron Man, I do not want him to be my Dr. Doom. But that's besides the point. What I'm really trying to get at is like this is just another excuse to erase the black talent right now. That's what it looks like. Not saying that's what it is. Because we may have an opportunity to see Blade in the Midnight Suns movie, but he just won't be the lead in his own movie.
I think they've already rubbed Yaya the wrong way, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely.
I think looking at some of his press releases and some of his interviews and stuff like that, I think he has a pretty bad taste in his mouth. They had him clear his schedule and signed him to. He said they signed him to a multi-year deal, and then to turn around, to turn around and just say, yeah, sorry we had you clear the next 2-3 years, but we're not gonna move forward with it. Here's some money, fuck off. How much money did he miss?
Was my shit.
Yeah, how much money and exposure did he miss out on thinking that, okay, they're about to put some money behind this IP that people obviously like she was saying, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes is not an easy thing, especially for a show. If you got 8, 9, 10 episodes, that's 10 chances for people to be like, yeah, this show is a piece of shit. But you go 10 episodes in the first season, get your re-up. It's not like he was imagining it. Get your re-up for the second season, get left on a cliffhanger for that first season, so you have to put something after that. And then for them to pop up and just say, yeah, now we're headed in a different direction, just to revert the whole universe back to Robert Downey Jr. And we were talking about that too. Like, man, I hope to God Robert Downey Jr. isn't the only Doom in this movie. Like, I really hope that this is like a play to say in different universes, there's different people, and Iron Man in this universe is Doom in another universe. And like, please don't let this shit ride on a 50-something-year-old dude. But this dude's pushing 60, man. Let him, he can go sit down. He's made enough money. Let's get some new money. Yeah, I can understand, again, from the business aspect, use the IPs that you have, but you can integrate new stories and appeal to new crowds and make a wider fan base to bring more people in, more fanfare. You don't have to revert back to the same exact thing over and over. Same thing with Wolverine. So why you keep bringing this motherfucker? You literally brought this motherfucker back from the dead. Come on, put somebody new. You got X-23. You got plenty of black characters in the X-Men universe. Make a new story. Inspire people. This is Disney and Marvel. That's your mission statement, right? To inspire people with the superheroes of the past. What are we doing?
And that's the part that gets you now. The new saga is going to be the mutant saga. We got the mutant saga. We understand that the mutant saga was based on black people. So I hope to see a lot of black mutants. I hope to see. I don't have to. The core X-Men doesn't have to be entirely black. mix it up. I'm okay with them being white characters, but yes, let's make the core of the mutants, what it basically pertained to back with the civil rights movement, and that's where it started at. And that's where they got the idea from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know what I
Malcolm
mean?
X and Magneto.
Exactly.
Martin Luther
Integrate
King and
those
Professor
characters,
X.
make those. And I hate when they think that these characters are prominently white. No, these are black characters. They supposed to be black characters. They
These are
built
black
off the black
stories.
struggle. These are black stories that happened in American history. So let's let's just add that to it. Like I love Wolverine. I love him. I don't care about color, but I just want you to be more accurate. You know what I mean? To where you begun at with the story.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and I think it's just selling yourself short, selling the IP short, and that's why I'm a DC person. My favorite superhero is Batman. I like what they're doing with lanterns over at, or yeah, whatever. But I like what they're doing with lanterns over at DC. I like the Batman. I like they got a black Catwoman. They got lanterns. Obviously, we were talking about Martian Manhunter. His alternate identity is usually black. I think
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific. I think the way that they're weaving these things in, and you don't have to make it like a because Black Panther is it's a little bit of a dog whistle for me. I feel like we'll throw you this bone. We'll get the black director, had an all black cast, and then he will do the colonizer thing, and then do the whole. It's like a song and dance. Yeah, it's like a song and dance. Get saved by the white dude in the black ship, right?
The whole movie is CIA agent at that. Like what?
Come on, bro. Like that's typically not the person that is gonna help black people is not the CIA fucking agent. Come on now, let's be realistic here. But it's just like it's a dog whistle, and it's kind of underhanded and tongue in cheek in a sense. To me, it's kind of put a sour taste in my mouth when it came to Black Panther. Even though I do love the movie and love the story of Black Panther, I do feel like that was like a throwing a dog a bone. Let's just give him Black Panther, and then because even the way they introduced Black Panther, he just popped up. Remember when he just popped up in Civil War?
Yeah, because he was on vengeance. He wanted revenge for the death of his father.
Yeah, like it just popped up. It's just thrown out there. But I think it's a complex issue. There's a business side, there's a personal side, there's a public side, private side. But you gotta give the people what they want. People were literally coming out of their skin when they announced Mahershala Ali as Blade, and you just turn around and say, "Yeah, it's just spending too much money."
And then to show what you can do with the character in a cartoon, and he was bad, man. He was bad.
Well, look at the last Blade trilogy. Look how good that did.
God.
People have an affinity. People are naturally attracted to vampires, vampire slayers, the almighty good versus evil story. Like, and Blade just embodies that perfectly. Literally, Wesley Snipes did numbers with Blade. That is, to this day, I can watch the Blade trilogy straight through, no stops, sitting in one place.
It saved Marvel. A black man saved Marvel.
Yep.
From bankruptcy. From losing all the IPs that they own to other major companies at the time.
And they rode that till the wheels fell off.
And the wheels
have fell off.
It's not like you sitting up here and we're in the 1950s and they say, you see one black person on TV per year. You know what I mean? Just to, make the numbers or whatever like that. No, black people bring out numbers worldwide.
Yep. Because it's a story that's not put out on Front Street. You don't people outside of our race don't usually get to see people of our skin complexion and our heritage and from our community be painted as the hero and be painted as the person coming out on the other side with the ups.
The genius, the king.
Exactly.
The professor, the scientist.
These are stories that exist in the real world. There's an entire continent of black leaders, black politicians, black networks, black cities, entire black countries. And people want to see that. And it was proven with Black Panther. And just to shuffle all those things and sweep them under the rug, and then just say, yeah, we just, instead of putting $50 million to Wonder Man and $100 million to Black Panther, or to not to Black Panther, sorry, to what's the other one? A Blade. How about we just give Robert Downey Jr. $200 million and just throw a mask on him, and yeah, we're good. Like
and
what?
just let him. But you know what? This is a huge red con that's about to happen, and I hope at the end of this red con, and after they kill off all the old men,
all the old white dudes,
all the old white dudes, and that they will make do on what the cinematic universe needs to be, because at the end of the day, they made their money, they got their fame, they got their notoriety, and they got their respect. I respect Robert Downey Jr. as an actor. I really do.
Right off into the sunset, though. It's done.
But I do not want to see him and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Doom for the next 10 years. I'm sorry. Get younger, newer actors that are fresh faced, that can give you about 10 years, 15 years straight in the IP and build a name and a brand for themselves. It's time to change. It's time to, give up the mantle.
And I want to say too, I want to make this clear. This is probably the final point. I do want to make it clear. Not asking for them to remake any characters. You don't have to make Iron Man a black dude. You don't have to make Thor a black dude or a Latin dude. You don't have to make Scarlet Witch an Asian woman. Just use the source material, find the good stories, make the film, and move on. It doesn't have to be all of this calculated. I understand playing with a lot of money. It doesn't have to be this calculated. Oh, we got to have this many Latin people. We got to have this many black people, this many white people. Nobody's asking for that. All we're asking for is give a fair shake to everybody. There's plenty of stories for everybody, and move on with that.
Exactly. You have enough black characters to build out a beautiful panel without taking jobs from white characters. And everybody will be okay with that. You have Asian characters that you can use. You can have Spanish characters that you can use. It is not the end all to be all, but just make it make sense.
There we go. And stop using them British niggas for American roles, bro. Please, man. Jesus Christ, man. Hey, like we get it, man. Yeah, they do theater and all the good stuff, man. There's plenty of fucking black actors, bro. Use it. And that's why I like the Yaya, what's the name, casting too, and the Marshall Ali. Like, okay, we get it. British people, they can act very good and they can put on a very good American accent, but that connection to the source material, being a black person in America and playing a black superhero or a black character and from America, you can't fake that. It's just the way it goes. Use American black actors, use the correct source material, and everything will be good. And on that note,
and that's the bell.
We're gonna get up out of there. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Team is back. Fuck all y'all.